Thank you for attending Wellabe's Masterclass. I'm Mariana Jones.
And I'm Courtney Mayer, and we are with the Wellabe Health Sales Team.
Since you registered for this class, you may be overwhelmed by all the TV commercials, emails, and letters encouraging you to sign up for Medicare.
After seeing parts A to D and supplemental plans A through N, you may be feeling like you're fallen into a bowl of alphabet soup. By the end of this masterclass, you'll have a clear understanding of Medicare, its enrollment process, how to fill Medicare gaps with supplemental insurance. You'll also have a chance to ask us questions you may still have. Please insert them in the chat box along the way, and we'll try our best to answer them at the end. An important note, this masterclass is for educational purposes only and does not constitute legal or medical advice. Your participation in this masterclass is voluntary. Be advised that certain personal information, including your name, may be visible to other participants and to the host. Please do not share any sensitive, personal, or health information. Now we'd like to introduce you to Wellabe. We're a long-standing company with a newer name. We've been providing insurance solutions that make a difference since 1929. Wellabe's mission is to help make every day better by always being here and doing what is right. We want to empower you to be well prepared, and well protected. One of the most important ways to feel empowered is to feel knowledgeable and certain about your decisions. That's why Wellabe created this masterclass. We want to simplify Medicare and supplement health insurance so you can sign up with confidence.
Courtney, Medicare doesn't have to be difficult, does it?
It does not have to be difficult. There are a lot of options, and we are going to go through all of those here today.
So let's talk about what we're going to talk about today. What is Medicare and what isn't? When to enroll in Medicare? How to sign up for Medicare?
Which options fill Medicare coverage gaps? How often to review your Medicare needs? And then we will round it out with a Q&A section at the end.
Well, Courtney, let's talk about step one. What is Medicare and what isn't?
Okay, well, before we dive into what Medicare is, let's clarify what Medicare isn't. It is not Medicaid. Medicare covers U.S. citizens age 65 and older and those under age 65 with certain chronic conditions and disabilities. Medicaid is typically available to anyone with an income below a certain limit. Medicaid is a free or nearly free and covers some benefits that Medicare doesn't, such as nursing home care and personal care services. Medicare is managed by the federal government, and Medicaid is managed by each individual state. It is not free. Medicare has monthly premiums, copays, coinsurance, and deductibles. It's not total coverage. Many older adults don't plan for health insurance coverage in retirement because they think Medicare will cover all of their health care costs. But that's not true. Medicare doesn't cover long-term care, eye exams, hearing aids, or routine dental care. Supplemental health plans can help fill gaps and protect your health and finances. It's not Medicare Supplement. You may see or hear other letters such as Plan G or Plan N in your research. These are not Medicare plans. They're Medicare Supplement plans that provide extra coverage on top of Medicare to ease those out-of-pocket costs. Now, Mariana, let's go over what is Medicare.
Medicare is a federally health insurance program managed by CMS, our Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, under the HSS, which is the Department of Health and Human Services. All U.S. citizens become eligible for Medicare when they reach age 65. However, those individuals with disabilities or end-stage renal who are under age 65 are also eligible for the program. Medicare has 4 parts, A, B, C, D, and each covers different expenses. We're going to go over those 4 parts today, aren't we, Courtney?
Yes, we are. We will go in depth to each of those and what is going to be covered for that.
So Part A and B make up Original Medicare, which are offered by the federal government. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Part A. Part A is what they call hospital insurance. It provides coverage for inpatient hospital care, skilled nursing facilities, home health care, and hospice care. Then there is Part B, not to be confused with a Medicare Supplement Plan B. Part B is medical insurance. It helps you pay medically necessary physician services, physician preventive care, as well as durable medical equipment.
Now I'm going to go over Part C, or Medicare Advantage, which are sold by private insurance companies and have been approved by Medicare, sometimes called MA plans. These plans combine the benefits of Parts A and B and typically Part D into one insurance plan. They may also include benefits not provided with original Medicare, such as those for dental, hearing, and vision. But here's where it can get a bit confusing. If you're enrolled in a Medicare Advantage plan, you're typically still in the overall Medicare system, but your Medicare benefits come from the Medicare Advantage insurance provider rather than the federal government. For example, to enroll in Medicare Part C, you'll first need to sign up for Medicare's Part A and Part B.
Now let's talk about Part D, prescription drug plans. You can add a Part D to your original Medicare coverage. You can also, usually, most of your Medicare Advantage plans have a drug plan included, and those would be called MAPDs, Medicare Part D.
Now, let's go over how to choose your base Medicare coverage. So, before you can sign up for Medicare, you'll need to decide which Medicare parts will serve you as your base coverage, original Medicare or Medicare Advantage. You may have already noticed contrasts between these offerings, such as who offers them and how they're bundled or sold. But there are other key differences such as premiums, deductibles, and other expenses which will vary year to year.
The availability of provider networks also differs. Original Medicare is accepted at 98% of U.S. health providers as of 2024. Each Medicare Advantage plan has its own network of doctors and hospitals that may not be included in your preferred network providers. As important to everyone here, please check, or you may have unforeseen out-of-pocket costs.
Now let's dive deeper into each part to help you understand your options better. Original Medicare Part A. Premiums. You likely won't pay a monthly premium if you or your spouse worked for 10 years or more. If you're among the minority that pay a premium, your amount will depend on your work history. Deductible. You must meet a deductible each benefit period before Medicare will pay. For 2025, the deductible is $1,676. Please note that you may have multiple benefit periods in 1 year. Other expenses. Your expenses may include a set amount each day of an extended stay in an inpatient or skilled nursing facility. You'll also be responsible for 20% of the approved cost for durable medical equipment, among other costs. An insider tip. Hospital indemnity and Medicare supplement insurance can help fill Part A gaps.
Perfect, Courtney. Now let's talk about Original Medicare Part B. Premium. You'll pay a premium each month. The amount you pay is based off your income of the previous year before you get into Medicare. For example, in 2025, the monthly premium is $185 for those with a gross income of $106,000 or less. Your premium may be higher if you had a higher income. Deductible. Also, you'll need to meet the deductible once a year before Medicare pays. In 2025, that deductible is $257. And as a reminder, it does change annually. Coinsurance. After the deductible is met, you have a 20% coinsurance payment on services and products covered under Part B. This is assuming your provider accepts and bills Medicare approved amount. Otherwise, your out-of-pocket amount may be greater. Other expenses. You must also pay 20% of the Medicare approved amount for durable medical equipment or doctor services. These may be provided during an inpatient hospital stay as part of an outpatient hospital care. You may also have other co-payments or out-of-pocket expenses. Insider tip. Medicare supplement, critical illness, and dental insurance help fill the gaps of Part B.
All right, Mariana, now let's go over the Medicare Advantage side, otherwise known as Part C. Premium. You must pay your Part B premium as well as any premium the private insurance company charges for Part C. Most Part C plans include Medicare Part D, but if yours doesn't, you'll pay a premium. Other expenses. Medicare Advantage plans have lower premiums, but they have higher deductibles. Your out-of-pocket maximum will depend on your specific plan, but generally apply to Part A and Part B services only. Insider tip. Hospital indemnity and critical illness lump sum benefits pair well with Medicare Advantage plans. For Medicare Part D, Medicare Part D covers prescription drug cost. You may pay a premium, annual deductible, or co-payments or co-insurance depending on which prescription plan you choose. Your actual drug coverage cost will vary depending on your prescriptions, pharmacy, and any extra payment assistance you receive. And again, just remember to reach out to your agent if there's any additional questions.
And right, Courtney, and there's also other costs that could come up in your past, right?
There is, yes.
So things like a late enrollment fee. For example, if your Part B may carry an extra 10% charge if you didn't sign up when you were eligible.
Supplemental insurance premiums, long-term care, Medicare supplement, hospital indemnity, critical illness, dental, and short-term care, and more
Are all examples of other costs, right?
That is correct. Because again, when you're enrolling in Medicare, there's extras that you will have that are not covered by Medicare.
Perfect. Well, when you do enroll in Medicare, let's go over that.
You become eligible for Medicare on your 65th birthday, but you may be eligible at a younger age if you have a special condition, such as a permanent kidney failure, Lou Gehrig's disease, or a qualifying disability. While Medicare is a federal program offered through the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, you also may know it as CMS, your enrollment is managed by the Social Security Administration. Therefore, if you're receiving Social Security benefits or Railroad Retirement Board benefits before the age of 65, you'll automatically be enrolled in Medicare Part A on your 65th birthday. If you are receiving SSA or Railroad Retirement benefits for at least 4 months before that birthday, you'll automatically be enrolled in Part B too. When these situations don't apply to you, you'll need to sign up for Medicare Part A and or Part B.
Wonderful.
All right, now let's go on. When should you sign up for Medicare? While there are different Medicare enrollment periods, the best time to sign up is during your initial enrollment period, so you can avoid a potential fine or a lapse in other health insurance. Your initial enrollment period is 7 months. It begins 3 months before your 65th birthday and continues through your birthday month and ends 3 months after it. Enter your date of birth on the Social Security website to determine your enrollment period. That website is ssa.gov/Medicare/plan/when to sign up. Again, remember, you can always reach out to your agent as well for additional help with this. Now, your initial enrollment period isn't the only type of enrollment period. Wellabe's Masterclass Guide, Medicare Insurance Simplified, lists all the enrollment periods that are going to be available for you. And you can download that at wellabe.com/Medicare.
Can you have Medicare and other insurance? Well, yes, you can. If you plan to work past 65 and have group coverage, you can enroll in Medicare during your IEP, initial enrollment period, or you can delay it. Compare both plans and decide the cost. If you keep your employer coverage, consider signing up for Medicare Part A if you qualify for a premium-free option. Whether you enroll in B depends on the size of your employer group. If your employer group is less than 20 employees, you'll need to enroll in Part B within your 63-day window of your retirement for a guaranteed issue situation. If your employer group is over 20, you can enroll in Part B or delay it without a penalty upon your time of retirement. This period lasts 8 months after your group coverage or your employer coverage ends.
All right, now let's talk about how to sign up for Medicare. We've gone over a lot of information right now, so let's take the next step of how to sign up for it.
Perfect.
As you prepare to enroll for Medicare, your next step is to ensure you have all the information that Social Security requires to sign up. This is going to include your Social Security number, your place of birth, health insurance information, including start and end dates for your current group health plans. Other information may be necessary based on your situation. For example, if you're already enrolled in Part A and are now enrolling in Part B, you'll need your Medicare number. That can be found on your Medicare card. You must also fill out a specific form in this situation or others that require you to enroll outside your initial enrollment period, such as in a special enrollment period or general enrollment period. If this applies to you, you can download the form you need on the Medicare website, medicare.gov. When your initial enrollment period begins, you have options for signing up for your Medicare coverage with the Social Security Administration. You can enroll online at on the SSA website, that is ssa.gov, apply by phone, or visit an SSA office in your area. Please note, if you or your spouse worked for the railroad, you'll need to call the Railroad Retirement Board about your Medicare enrollment. That number is 877-772-5772. As a first-time enrollee, visit ssa.gov and click Sign Up for Medicare. Each page provides easy-to-follow instructions. You may even choose to save your application and come back later to complete it if needed. Again, if you wish to have a Medicare Advantage plan for your health care coverage, you'll still need to enroll in Original Medicare first. After you've done so, you may review the Medicare Advantage and prescription drug plans available in your area on medicare.gov. You'll need to have your Medicare number before you can enroll. If you prefer to enroll in Medicare by phone, you do have that option as well. Whether you speak English, Spanish, or any other language, you can call 800-772-1213. Again, that number is 800-772-1213. You'll need to know which parts you're signing up for, Parts A, Part B, or A only before calling. You may also visit your closest Social Security office to apply for Medicare. At your nearest location can be found on that same Social Security website. You may wish to schedule an appointment to save time. I would recommend that. You'll also receive a welcome package from Medicare that contains your Medicare card and a booklet with information on your new healthcare plan. It generally arrives 2 weeks after you sign up. This is also true for those who are automatically enrolled based on having a disability or receiving SSA benefits. All right, now, Mariana, now should we go over how to fill the gaps with these plans?
Yes, Courtney. Many adults think that Medicare will cover their health coverage, but it's not always true. Both Original Medicare and Medicare Advantage have plans that have gaps in their coverage. Good news is supplemental health insurance can help. First, let's familiarize you with the industry jargon, which you can find out on Wellabe's Glossary of Insurance Terms, wellabe.com/glossary. We have some key terms that you'll continue to see throughout your time beginning in Medicare. First, maximize benefit. This is the most important insurance provider will provide you with the health benefit of the year-over-year cost. Deductibles. Deductible is an amount that you will meet per year to be able to get coverage. Premium. Premium is your actual payment that you'll pay for the coverage. Co-insurance. Co-insurance is the amount of money that you are available, and guys, I've lost. Co-insurance is the dollar amount often shown as the percentage of total medical services you're responsible for health care providing after you've paid the plan's deductible. Co-payment. An amount of payment each time you use a medical service, such as a doctor's or office visit. Out-of-pocket cost. Each plan has an out-of-pocket cost maximum, which is the largest amount you're going to pay in a plan year for covered medical expenses, including copays, co-insurance, and deductibles, but excluding monthly payments. Rider. A rider is a policy amendment that can be added or limit the coverage available on your plan. When deciding to choose a supplemental health insurance, you should think about the times and needs you have. Ask yourself, do I need a plan that covers prescription drugs because I take more than one drug on a regular basis? Do I have a chronic condition that requires regular care? Do I have a risk factor to help that could develop into a chronic condition? Do I have enough coverage if I experience an unexpected illness or injury? A lot of supplemental plan insurances only cover certain benefits are based on coverage, then the insurance company gives you multiple options or riders or add-ons and that customer can elect riders based off their coverage. Here's a checklist how to choose the right supplemental health plan. First, decide if you want a high deductible versus a low deductible. A lot of you are familiar with that from your employer plans back when you were younger. Check the coinsurance amount. Determine the out-of-pocket max. Look at the covered and non-covered services and riders. Are they important to you? And then include the premium when accounting for the plan's annual expenses. Ultimately, anticipate what you might think you can afford and what is actually covered on your plan. Think about what you can handle financially and something catastrophic happens, and you're financially responsible for the cost of your medical care. But Courtney, how do you choose between a high deductible and a low deductible
I know
plan?
there's so many options out there. So what your insurance covers is going to vary depending upon what you are going to select. High deductible plans are better for those who are looking for catastrophic coverage. Now, low deductible plans typically have higher premiums, but benefits kick in a lot sooner. Here's how to choose supplemental health insurance based on deductibles and your situation. The high deductible, you're generally healthy, have limited medical costs, and are looking for protection if something major were to happen, like a trip to the emergency room due to an accident or being confined in a hospital for more than a couple of days. You're okay with a bit of a risk because you may have to pay more out-of-pocket costs to hit your deductible level. Now, low deductible. You anticipate higher medical costs and more doctor visits. Your risk advises and or will like to avoid a lot of upfront out-of-pocket costs.
Now that you've learned the fundamentals, it's time to determine which type of supplemental health insurance works best in your situation.
Also referred to as Medigap, Medicare supplement plans don't often offer coverage by themselves. They're paired with original Medicare to cover out-of-pocket costs that aren't paid in full by Parts A and Part B, such as deductibles, co-payments, co-insurance, Part B excess charges, or even foreign travel emergencies, if you plan to travel in retirement. Since there is no limit on these original Medicare costs, they can add up fast. Medicare supplement insurance isn't owned or operated by the U.S. government, but it's a private insurance that must follow rules set by the government and is generally accepted by providers who take Medicare. The best enrollment period for Medicare supplement plans is the 6 months following your 65th birthday. It is this time when you aren't required to answer questions about your health and can secure the best rate. The specific benefits vary depending on which of the 10 standardized plans you decide is right for you. Mariana, now let's kind of go over the different Medicare plans that are available.
Perfect, Courtney. Which Medicare supplement plan is right for you? Well, there are 10 different plans available, standardized plans across the country. If you're in a state that doesn't have a standardized plan, don't worry, we still offer plans for you. But in the 10 standardized plans, it gets a little confusing. There's A, B, C, D, F, G, K, L, M, and N. But let's talk about the most commonly sold plans. Prior to January 1st, 2020, the most commonly sold plan was a Plan F. It covered, as you can see here on the screen, all of the different parts and the benefits of Medicare. But after January 1st, 2020, if your Part A date is after that, the most commonly sold plan and the plan available to you is a Plan G. And it's going to cover nearly most of the cost of the Plan M, except for you're going to pay your Part B deductible, which remember, Courtney, this year was how much?
It was $257 this year, but that is subject to change each year.
That's right. So besides a Plan G, you'll see in the market another most commonly sold plan is the Plan N. I love to talk about the Plan N because the Plan N is what they call a copay plan. So you pay up to $20 for physician's visits or up to $50 for the ER.
Yeah.
If you're admitted as a inpatient, your $50 is waived. It's just a great plan that works for you and to fit into your budget. It also covers all of the different parts that you'll see on your Plan G, except for the Part B excess. But Courtney, what do we know about Part B excess?
Part B excess is not accepted everywhere. It's very unlikely to happen, but it could happen if you go to somewhere that does not accept Medicare. You could be charged for that Part B excess. So Also on this screen, I just want to point out here, we do have high deductible plans available as well. High deductible G, if you are interested in a high deductible plan, that will also be available for you.
And the high deductible plans are a great option, right, Courtney?
Yes, they are. They are, you're used to having a deductible with your current plan. So this is just a way to help keep your premiums cheaper. You will have that deductible. Once you meet that deductible, then the plan G is going to be covered.
Perfect. So, Courtney, what else do we have?
So since Medicare doesn't cover every dollar of your hospital costs, such as deductibles, co-payments, you can use a hospital indemnity plan to reduce your out-of-pocket cost when you have a hospital stay. It pays you the cash benefit amount you choose during enrollment each day of the hospital stay, so you have flexibility in how you use the funds. Hospital indemnity insurance is often an ideal partner for Medicare Advantage policies. There are different options with hospital indemnity that will help offset your deductibles and your co-payments that you have with your Medicare Advantage policies. After you reach the yearly out-of-pocket maximum, Medicare Advantage covers the rest of your costs, but until you reach that limit, it can be pricey. Hospital indemnity riders especially can offer comprehensive coverage that helps eliminate the cost share element of Medicare Advantage plans. Short-term care insurance is meant to prepare for the what-ifs. It helps cover unexpected medical needs like injury, surgery, or limited mobility for up to 12 months and fills gaps in coverage covered not by Medicare, such as extended care services. Short-term care insurance is ideal if you don't qualify or can't afford long-term care insurance or coverage during its receiving benefits. Mariana, as we all know, traditional long-term care policies, they're very expensive and they're hard to qualify for. So short-term care is a great option.
It is, Courtney.
With fewer restrictions, it's more accessible. On average, 42% of people need less than 1 year of at-home paid care, and 37% of people need less than 1 year of any skilled care in a facility, making short-term care a practical solution. Critical illness insurance. Do you want to go over how the critical illness insurance works?
Sure, Courtney. So critical illness empowers you to build coverage you need. So have you ever thought about what happens if you have a heart attack, a stroke, or you've been diagnosed with cancer? Critical illness helps you build a plan that works for you. You apply, you select the policy you want, and the lump sum benefit amount. You'll be paid directly to you, not paid to your doctor, so you can use the money for however you'd like. Depending on the policy, you may add riders to the base policy or add additional coverage. Medicare doesn't cover dental coverage.
That is correct, but supplemental dental insurance can help with the dental health care cost. And most of the time, if you have dental insurance while you are working, you are going to want to continue to have dental insurance when you retire as well.
Step 5, how often do you review your Medicare needs? Almost 70% of Medicare beneficiaries don't take time to double check whether another solution could be better safeguard for their health and financial well-being. But it's important that you evaluate your insurance coverage every year during the Medicare annual enrollment period, or AEP as you may see across some of your advertisements. That runs from October 15th through December 7th. If insurance you have doesn't meet your current or potential health care needs, both physical and financial statuses may be at risk. Fortunately for you, you can review your insurance plans to help ensure your continued well-being.
Top reasons you may change insurance during AEP. Reason number 1, your Medicare Advantage plan has been discontinued. Medicare Advantage, otherwise known as Part C plans, are sold by private insurance companies, and it's common for some Medicare Advantage plans to be discontinued. Reason number 2, you experience change to your provider network. Medicare Advantage plans may remove providers from their network, even during the coverage year. This can limit access to physicians or result in unplanned expenses. To ensure better network stability, you may consider switching to Original Medicare with a Medicare Supplement plan. Reason 3, new Medicare plans options are introduced. Despite the exit of some plans, many Medicare Advantage plan options still exist or will be introduced each year. These may offer expanded benefits, cost sharing, and different provider networks.
Reason 4, you moved within the United States. Premiums for Medicare Advantage or Medicare Supplement plans are based on where you live, so if you move, you could affect cost. Also, being a new location may open up new options for you for coverage. Reason 5, you're eligible for options due to special needs. You've developed a chronic condition or required skilled care that may require a Medicare Advantage special needs plan, depending on the eligibility and availability in your geographic area. Reason 6. You want to expand coverage for the what ifs. With any age comes vulnerability to chronic conditions, accidents, and other concerns. AEP is an appropriate time to see the original Medicare with the supplement plan works best for you at any stage of your life. Or in adding supplemental insurance, you can maximize the impact of health emergencies that you could face on your finances.
All right, Mariana, now that we've gone over all of the options that are available, let's go over how to make the most of AEP. Review current plan details. Know what your current Medicare Advantage or supplement plan covers and your rates so that you'll be able to compare those details to other solutions. Identify healthcare needs. Do you have new health concerns that may require specialized care, surgery, or medications? What coverage does your current plan provide for those needs? If you have Medicare Advantage and or Part D prescription plan, you should receive a plan annual notice of change in September. It details any changes to your coverage or rates for the new year. You may then use the official Medicare website to explore options and to compare other costs and benefits.
Step 4. Contact your agent for personalized help. When exploring options, your healthcare agent is your best source of information versus a friend or neighbor who may recommend their healthcare plan. You may need a doctor that's not in the person's network, or you may have a condition that requires special coverage. Your trusted agent can provide you with personalized help and help you get the health insurance that's right for you. If you don't have an agent, don't worry. Visit Wellabe.com/callback to ask an agent to contact you. You can see that information on your screen. Or if you'd like to request a quote, please visit our Wellabe.com/quote to request a free quote.
Now, let's hear from you. If you haven't already, please type your questions in the chat section, and we'll do our best to get to all of them. If we run out of time, we'll send a follow-up email with more answers.
Well, Courtney, let's start with the questions.
All right.
How about that?
That sounds good. Let's take a look. And if you have any questions, please feel free, go ahead and type those in now as well.
Sounds great.
Okay, so why should I work with an agent?
Well, Courtney, an agent is a great reference. They'll be knowledgeable not only in the entire insurance market, but in your specific area. So they give you great insight on what products work best for you, because we want to make sure you have the right person with the right product at the right time.
Yes, and as we went over today, there's a lot of information out there. So working with an agent locally would probably be your best bet because of all of the different options that are available out there for you.
That's right.
Okay, let's go down here to the next one. How does hospital indemnity work with a Medicare Advantage policy?
Perfect. A hospital indemnity plan offers a client the opportunity to fill the gaps that happen with Medicare Advantage. So it'll allow you, should you get put in the hospital, to help pay your copays and deductibles.
Yes, and remember, with those Advantage plans, you do have those out-of-pockets, those co-payments and those deductibles. And the hospital indemnity plans, there's a lot of options that are going to help offset those out-of-pocket expenses that you could incur with that.
Something I heard this year, Courtney, that I really like is a hospital indemnity plan is a necessary product for a Medicare Advantage.
That is very true. It is a necessary product, especially with all of the riders that can be added on there, and they are very, very inexpensive policies. So if you haven't had a chance to take a look at that, we encourage you to go take a look at those plans.
Perfect. What else do we have?
Let's see here. Oh, this is a good one. So what is the difference between short-term care and long-term care?
Courtney, I know this is one of your favorites to talk about.
This is one of my favorites to talk about. So the difference between short-term care and long-term care is short-term care is going to go up to 360 days of coverage. It is going to be easier to qualify for, and it's much more affordable than those traditional long-term care policies that you have. And I always remind folks, what is care? That is the biggest question. What is care? Care is not, I'm going to make dinner and then put them to bed. Care is, who's going to change my diaper in the middle of the night?
Exactly.
Who's going to help transfer me? Who's going to help bathe me? Those are the uncomfortable conversations, but it's one that's necessary, especially as we age. And, it's more than likely could happen where you're going to have some kind of short-term care.
It's true. And then long-term care is built for the long term. It's that after more than, 360 days, it's that long term. But again, like you talked about, the underwriting is very difficult for those plans.
It is very hard to qualify for. So it may be if you've already tried to qualify for that and you didn't get approved, because let's be honest here, they are extremely hard to qualify for. Just remember that there are short-term care plans out there available for you.
Perfect.
Let me go here.
All right, let's look on this one. Question here is, I have a Medicare supplement policy. Can you switch health insurance companies for the Part B Medicare supplement policy? So you can always switch Medicare supplement policies. You will have to go through underwriting. Here at Wellabe, we do have what we call a fast underwriting process, would you say?
Yeah.
It's very quick. Accelerated application process. So your agent can let you know if you will be accepted or denied, but it does depend on your health questions. Just like going from any MedSup to MedSup, you're going to go through underwriting questions.
Yes, once you're outside of your initial enrollment period, when you're first enrolling into Medicare, you can change at any time after that, but just know no matter what company you're going with, what plan, you would have to answer health questions and medically qualify to change over.
That's exactly it. Can you switch, the next question, can you switch without a penalty from an Advantage plan to a supplement plan during open enrollment? Perfect question. So during open enrollment, which is October 15th to December 7th, you can at that time get out of the Medicare Advantage plan and switch into basic Medicare, which allows you to go through underwriting for a supplement plan. There are a few guaranteed issue ways to do that, such as a service area reduction. So some of you might have gotten letters from your Advantage plan saying they were reducing the service in your area, or you may be what's called your Medicare trial right. An agent can reference that for you and help you figure that out. If not, you again would go through underwriting and you can switch into that. And that allows you also during October 15th to December 7th to get out of the Medicare Advantage and purchase a Part D plan, because the trigger is going to be your Part D plan, which is your drug coverage.
Yes. And again, if you're working with an agent, please reach out to that agent. If you're not and you have questions, you can always call us as well, and we'd be happy to help as well with anything.
Perfect.
Thank you for joining us for our Wellabe Masterclass today. Now that you've received all this helpful information, what's next?
First, we'd love to hear from you. Look for a brief survey in your inbox and let us know what was helpful and what we can improve. Next, download your free Masterclass companion guide at wellabe.com/Medicare to support your Medicare journey.
Finally, are you ready to explore supplemental health insurance? Wellabe offers Medicare supplement, hospital indemnity, short-term care, critical illness, and dental insurance. Contact your trusted agent or visit wellabe.com to learn more.
Thank you for joining us today, and have a wonderful afternoon and evening. you.